Hi, welcome to Sandra's Sisterhood. I'm Carrie, and this is a YouTube channel for the single and childless, not by choice person. Our video today is part of our Managing the Holidays series. If you are single and or childless, you know that sometimes the holidays can be challenging, to say the least. I think they can be challenging for anybody, but when you layer on top of it all of the family time, all of the questions, all of the triggering events, how much of it is kind of centered around children, significant others, it can be a challenging time of year. So because of that, I thought I would make a series of videos having to do with managing the holidays. This first video is going to be things that I like to do around the holidays as a single person with no kids. Hopefully this can inspire you to think about things that you want to purposely and intentionally set out to do around the holidays. So even if you're going through grief and you're acknowledging the difficultness of the holidays, you're still able to cut away some time or carve away some time for you to do some things that you want to do. I want to put a disclaimer out here, like I do with many of my videos, that just because I am saying these are things that I like to do, it doesn't mean that I don't also experience some grief and loss around the holidays. One of the things that, as I've been moving through grief, that I'm trying to do though, is really recognize that the holidays may not look like the way that I always imagined them to be. And it doesn't mean that I can't find some things about the holidays that feel good to me, that make me experience joy, even though I am somebody who is single and doesn't have kids. So here are the things that I like to do. All right, the first thing is I really like to watch baking shows that have holiday themes around it. The one that is my favorite right now is the Great British Baking Show. I love this season. This isn't a holiday special bake-off that I'm watching right now, but it's the most current season. I love all the bakers. I think it's a really good blend of quirky with just funny and humorous regular people. If you have not gotten down the rabbit hole that is the Great British Baking Show, go do that. On Netflix, there's lots of seasons that you can just sit and binge. So particularly if it's cold or snowy, it's just a great show to watch and snuggle up with your coffee, your tea, your holiday beverage, whatever that is. They also generally do holiday specific ones where they do more holiday baking, things like that, which are also really fun too. The next thing I love to do is I like to get myself the peppermint mochas, the pumpkin spice lattes, those quintessential holiday flavors that just automatically take you to the holidays. Hot chocolate is one of those for me as well. At Starbucks, I really like the peppermint mocha. I'm also trying to manage my health, calories, fat, things like that. And so one of the things that I do is I get it without whip, and then instead of 4 pumps of mocha and 4 pumps of peppermint in the grande size, I ask them to half it. And it tastes just as good. It makes me feel a little bit better about it. I love that it's warm. I love the holiday cup. I just love the entire ambiance around it. The other thing that I love to do is I love to sit and snuggle up with my dog. I have a Great Dane. He's a big snuggly boy with the Christmas tree on. In so much that I actually don't take my Christmas tree down because I love the lights around it. Now I take the ornaments off, but I keep the lights on. It's a fake tree. It's a smaller tree. It's not this big old thing that takes up the entire living room. So I have a smaller tree that I do keep up year round just because I love doing this so much, and why the hell not? I can, so I am. The next thing to think about doing, especially on those weekends where sometimes it can feel really boring, especially if you can't go out anywhere because the weather is crummy. You know, it's one of the things we don't always talk about in this community, but you spend a lot of time alone and sometimes things get boring. It's not this Sex and the City life all the time or ever where you're constantly going to premieres and book signings and fabulous shopping and outfits and things like that. No, there's oftentimes a lot of boredom that's going on. And so the thing that I like to do particularly on the weekends, is watch my favorite holiday movies. So for Thanksgiving, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, hands down. I love that movie. It makes me laugh. I feel like it's timeless. There's jokes on that I think about in my everyday life as I'm going throughout my day. And then for Christmas, you know, it's a very contentious topic in terms of choosing what is your favorite Christmas movie, but I really like Christmas Vacation. It's a lot of nostalgia. It reminds me of when I was a kid growing up, going to watch that in the movie theater. I was really little, and the memory that I have around it is that my mom and I went during a snowstorm when we actually got stuck at a ditch on the way back. I don't know if that exactly happened in that way, but that's my memory around it. And so it just reminds me of winter anyway. It's also really funny, right? There's, again, classic jokes in that, people quote the lines on that all the time. I would love to know what your favorite holiday movies are, so put those below. So another thing that I like to do, but I don't do often enough, is baking holiday treats. I think for Thanksgiving, it's much more like savory, like the breads and like sausage rolls and things like that. And for Christmas or that like winter holiday, I think more cookies. I don't do this often as I should, or even maybe that I want to, because, and you may relate to this if you're single too, I feel like I make all these cookies and I just sit and eat them by myself. One of the things, if you really like to bake, and this is something you like to do, but you're like me and you don't want 24 cookies sitting around just for you to eat while you're watching movies all night, is consider taking them to work. So you get the joy of the baking, but you get to hand them off if that's what makes sense for you. Okay, the next thing is I love the sense of the holidays. You know, there's something about smell that really activates memory. I can smell a certain smell and I just feel kind of warm and cozy and snuggly, and I really enjoy that. So for more Thanksgiving or fall time, cinnamon, vanilla, pumpkin, spices, even like apple cinnamon, things like that. And then for Christmas time, I think of more like evergreen or like pine tree. I think more like cranberry for some reason. I think more vanilla too. I think that's a crossover. Woodsy smells. And I like to do this either through candle, or I think simmer pots are starting to make a bit more of a comeback, where you buy some of these spices, you put them in some water, you boil those, and then you have it on your stove and it just permeates throughout your house. I've been meaning to look into those a little bit more, because I also am thinking maybe they're a little bit like healthier in terms of a candle. I've been hearing some things about burning candles, but again, think about the scents that you really enjoy that bring you to a warm, cozy place, and consider buying some candles or making some simmer pot around that. I bet YouTube has some really good recipes around simmer pots, particularly for the holidays. All right, the final thing that I love to do, and it's turned into a tradition that is meaningful to me as a single person with no kids, is I love getting my picture taken with Santa with me, my dog, and then my mom has been in town, and with my mom as well. PetSmart does this for free. In fact, I just signed up for our time slot next month. This week I got the email for it, and I have one for every year that I've had Gavin. It's so cute, it's so sweet. I really love this tradition that I have. And so if you have a pet, consider doing something like that. All right, so those are my favorite things that I like to do around the holidays. Let me know what I missed in the comments below. Let me know what favorite movies you really enjoy. And subscribe to Saunders Sisterhood for more videos for the single and childless, not by choice person.